Okay, this little lesson is going to be on making a fun hair scrunchie. I have the hair elastic and I tend to try and choose an elastic that matches whatever little scrap of yarn. This is a good way to use up the end of a ball of yarn. And this is usually the first thing I try and help people learn. It uses a simple chain stitch and is a great way to have a project finished really quickly and have something to show for your time. So if you're not familiar with how to hold the yarn, for me it's an automatic thing. I just kind of twist it around my hand. There are various ways to do it. How I tend to do it is I'll loop it over my little finger, bring it round across the palm of my hand and over my pointy finger. Let me double check. Am I doing it right? Now I'm thinking about it, I can't think. Yes. Because this then, as I'm working, this is where I'll be stitching. As I'm working, my finger controls the tension, you know, how loose or floppy or firm it is between my work and the rest of the ball of yarn. Okay, so I've got my yarn, I've got my little hair elastic, and I like these thicker ones. They hold up a lot more. You can get some that are thinner, but they tend to stretch out really quickly. These ones that don't have the metal in it, I'm not sure how good that is. I'd hate it to pop open, but either way, it's a little elastic. So I'm going to leave, as always, a little bit of a tail, and I'm literally going to start off by tying it to the elastic. Yay, step one completed already. Now, using this item, you'll always have something to hold on to, but it will feel very strange trying to coordinate and control how you're holding your work, because it will only ever be around this, whereas when you make a different project, the project itself grows and you've got something more to hold on to. So this will always stay thin and small. It's not going to turn into a hat or anything bigger that you hold on to. So you start by tying your yarn to the elastic, and for this I'm just using, if I don't keep hitting the camera, H hook, I think, 5mm. I'm not sure that it shows. There we go, 5mm. Could be any size hook. The bigger hook, the bigger chains you have. So we've tied it just to give it an anchor, but we're also going to pretend we're going to single crochet onto the elastic. Because the yarn isn't yet attached to the hook, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it around once, go through the middle of the elastic and pick up the yarn the other side and bring it around. Now I've got two loops on my elastic, on my hook, and then I'll pull this piece through both loops. In essence, I've just done a single crochet onto the elastic. Now I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and notice how I'm moving my hands up. The elastic is now just free dangling. I'm holding the yarn near the hook. So how many was that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the closer to the yarn and hook that I'm holding it, the better control I have. If I was trying to hold this, I can't chain very well up here. So now I've got 10 little chains. Do you see they kind of look like a braid? Now I'm going to do the same as what we started at the beginning, only this time I have a loop on my hook. I'm going to go through the middle of the elastic, pick up the yarn the other side. Now I've got two loops on there, and I'm going to crochet through the middle of them, And now I've attached the other side of this loop. I'm going to chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And guess what? Go back through the middle of the elastic and single crochet onto the elastic. And that's all we're going to do, is do a series of 9, 10, series of these chain loops onto the elastic, around and around and around, either till I'm satisfied that the elastic has filled up with loops, or I run out of yarn. Alright, I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got a nice chain braid, and I'm going to go back through the middle, pick up the yarn, oop, get my finger out of the way so it's a little bit tighter, and single crochet through the middle of both, and that attaches it. You'll find that the looser you are with attaching the yarn to the elastic, the freer it glides around the elastic and it won't be so tight. I've got this much yarn, so I'm going to probably crochet, I'm guessing about 30 loops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Through the middle, got 2 loops on the hook, and crochet through both. So you're practicing the chain stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a single crochet. You've got the loop on the hook, go through the middle, which this action with other projects you'll see is the same as picking, you know, attaching it to the row below or something. Got 2 loops on there and single crochet through both. We're just going to keep going. Now this is another nice project that's pretty forgiving. If, as I'm talking to you, I do 10 or 9 or 11 chains because I lost count or I'm not concentrating, it doesn't matter. Move my fingers up to control the yarn a little bit better. Through the middle, pick up a stitch, single crochet, slide it along. Do you see how it's just filling up with all these loops? It will give it some room to stretch when it's going to be looped onto some little girl's ponytail or something like that. And what's fun is you have a whole bunch of different colors that you can either mix and match, you know, have a different colored elastic with a different colored yarn, or like me, you can just match them. Either way is fine. I'll try and do a couple a little bit slower. Okay, I've got my loop on the hook, going through the elastic, and do you see how I'm in utter control of this? It's not flopping around or dangling around. I've got my fingers on it, so it's holding it still for me to manipulate it the way I want and hold it sturdy for myself. I've got my hook, I'm going through the middle, looping it around and pulling the yarn through both loops. You're practicing a single crochet with that. I said I was going to go slower and I went ahead and did it fast again. So through the middle, pick up the stitch, pull it through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. you can do some short, you could do some long, so you could do some that have 6 stitches and some that have 12, kind of alternate them, or 6 chains, sorry, and some that have 12, just to give it a different look. You can I've also done ones with 2 different colors, like this purple and a white, that what I'll do is I'll do the purple loops like this, and maybe do 15 of them, and then finish those off, which I'll show you here in a few moments how to finish off. And then, so it's not full, it only has 15 loops on it, and then in between I would attach the white yarn here and chain 10, and then attach them in between the loops. So I would attach a white here and then chain 10 and attach the next white in between this one, and attach the next white in between here, each chaining the same as this, but the loops kind of alternating, and then you have a scrunchie that kind of is 2 colors. So that's kind of a fun one. Maybe I'll do another one like that. But other than me pausing to show you how to do it, this is a pretty quick project. And I'm totally not counting any of the chains, I just know I'm doing them roughly about the same length. I'm just trying to finish it. So if this is your first project, you're getting used to holding the yarn, you're getting an even tension with the practice of doing loop after loop of these chains, and you're going to see how some of them might be a little bit tighter, some of them might be a little bit looser, but that's where practicing a little project like this is really nice for getting that uniformity that you're going to want when you do some other projects where the even stitches are going to matter, like hats or gloves or scarves or, you know, blankets or whatever things that you want to progress into. It's going to be important. Almost done because we're almost out of the purple yarn. Almost done. I think if I do one more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to do 8 on that one. Well, maybe I could do 9, 10. Let's have a look. It's really close. Ooh, it's kind of floppy when I can't hold it. 9, 10. Alright, now this is a really short end, so it's going to be kind of tricky. So again, I'm going through the middle of the elastic, bringing up the other side. I'm going to do my little single crochet, and then bring my tail through that loop. Ooh, look at that, really small, and tie it in a knot. Now normally you might have a longer tail than that because maybe you're just making scrunchie and you've got a whole ball of yarn. But again, this is a nice way to use up the end of a ball of yarn. Now I've got these two tails just hanging, and because I've gone all the way around my scrunchie, I'm now going to tie these two together, pull them nice and close to each other, tie these two together, just like 3 or 4 times. They're not going to come undone. And then cut the tails off. It won't matter about the knot. It's kind of going to be lost in the shuffle of the scrunchie. And there you have it. Kind of a fun little project to get used to practicing the single crochet and the chain stitch while holding the yarn and getting used to how to maneuver with the hook. So have fun making those. Very nice and easy. And we'll see you for lesson number 2, where I think we're going to practice the chain stitch again and make a necklace.